Are you really prepared to spend your golden years alone in the home you live in today? It's a question many of us have quietly pondered, and I've seen it haunt more than a few of my patients. To give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, let's look at a startling fact right here in America. Nearly 1 in 3 Americans over the age of 65 lives alone. And for our wonderful women over the age of 75, that number sadly jumps to nearly half. This isn't just your neighbor's story, folks. This could be your story. Today, I'm going to give you a practical survival strategy. This isn't just real estate advice. I'm going to show you 3 specific places where you can live alone in your later years and live fully with dignity, connection, and true happiness. This decision could be one of the most important decisions of your life. If what I'm sharing has touched your heart, if this fear has ever crossed your mind, please take a moment and just type "yes" in the comments below. It lets me know you're here, and it lets others know they're definitely not alone. Okay, let's get started. Section 1. The first story. A common mistake: seeking absolute peace in isolation. First, let's hear the story of Eleanor. This is the first, and frankly, the most common mistake I've seen play out. Eleanor was 73 when her husband passed away. She was a proud, strong woman, and she wanted what so many of us believe we want: absolute peace, quiet, and complete independence. Her children begged her, "Mom, please come live with us." But she refused. "I don't want to be a burden," she told them. "I can take care of myself." So she chose this beautiful little house, tucked away in the countryside. The pictures looked lovely, promising fresh air and perfect serenity. No one to bother her at all. And for the first month, it truly was peaceful. She'd wake up, walk in her yard, tend to her small garden, and read in the evenings. She called her son and said, This is true freedom, honey." But, my friends, freedom, when it's mixed with total isolation, it becomes something else entirely. After about 3 months, things started to change dramatically. She would go all day, then 2 days, without hearing a single human voice. She told me later that she started to forget what her own voice even sounded like. That silence stopped being peaceful. It became terrifying. When night came, the silence was so complete that every small sound was amplified. The wind rustling, a branch scraping the roof, the crickets chirping outside. She couldn't sleep. The lack of human contact began to feel like a heavy blanket suffocating her. It was a mental burden that our bodies, especially as we age, simply aren't designed to bear. The need for social interaction is hardwired into our DNA, and when it's absent, our minds and bodies react. Then, the harsh practical realities set in. She was far from everything. It was a 40-minute drive one way just to get a gallon of milk. 40 minutes. One afternoon, she felt a tightness in her chest, a worrisome, squeezing sensation, but she told herself, "Oh, it's just anxiety." She was too afraid to make that long, lonely drive into town, or even to the clinic. One night, the pain was different. It was crushing, as if someone was sitting on her chest. She was terrified. She called 911, but out there in that isolated countryside, it took the ambulance 50 minutes to find her house. Thankfully, it wasn't a heart attack. But Eleanor realized something profound that night. She thought, "If I stay here, I will truly die here, all alone." She was diagnosed with severe depression just weeks later and moved back to the city within the year. She told me, and I will never forget it, "Doctor, living alone is fine, but being left alone, that's unbearable." If Eleanor's story resonates with a fear you've had, please type isolation in the comments. It helps us know we're addressing real concerns that many of us face. Section 2. The second story. The other extreme. Trading freedom and purpose for absolute safety. The second story is about Robert, and this is the other extreme. Robert lost his wife at 68. His kids were worried sick about their dad, and frankly, so was he. He didn't want to be a burden like Eleanor had felt, so they all chipped in for this high-end assisted living facility. You've seen the brochures, haven't you? They look like 5-star resorts, gleaming and full of promise. He paid a hefty buy-in, over $40,000, just to get in the door. And he thought, this is it. I'm safe. They will manage everything for me. And at first, it was heaven. Just like the brochure promised. The facilities were beautiful, spotless. They cooked his meals, 3 delicious ones a day. They cleaned his room, did his laundry. There were nurses on staff 24/7. The emergency call system was perfect. He didn't have to worry about a single, tiny thing. But, as human beings, especially as we get older, safety is not the only thing we need. We need purpose. We need choice. After about 6 months, Robert told me he felt this strange, creeping feeling, a sense that he was disappearing. Everything, and I mean everything, was run by a rigid schedule. 7 a.m. breakfast, 10 a.m. light exercise, 2 p.m. an organized program like bingo or a movie, 6 p.m. dinner. He had no choice, no say in what he ate or when he ate or who he saw. And worst of all, he was surrounded only by old people. There were no young people, no children laughing, no fresh energy. The only topics of conversation, day in and day out, were hospitals, pills, and blood pressure. He no longer felt challenged, no longer felt he had a contribution to make. This is the core reason why we, as humans, cannot thrive in an environment devoid of choice and purpose. Our brains need stimulation. Our spirits need a reason to strive. Without those, we begin to wither from within. One day, he sat in my office and looked so utterly defeated. He asked me this, "Doctor, am I living, or am I just in a very comfortable, very expensive room, waiting to die?" In the end, Robert walked away. He left that $40,000 buy-in on the table, and he got out. He told his kids, and this is the warning for all of us, that place, it was a safe place to die. It just wasn't a place to live. If Robert's struggle for purpose strikes a chord with you, comment "purpose" below. Let's make sure we find it and hold on to it. Section 3. The third story. The solution. Living alone, but connected to community. But then there's the third story. This is the one I want you to remember. This is the story of Carol. Carol lost her husband at 71. But Carol was different. She didn't react with fear or paralysis. She responded with a plan, a purposeful one. She scouted locations. She researched meticulously. She actually went and talked to people who were living in the kinds of places she was considering, not just looking at glossy brochures. And her choice surprised her family. It wasn't a big house. It was a small, about 600 square feet, 1-bedroom apartment in a simple suburb. But this apartment was the center of what I call the golden system. Listen to this. It was a 5-minute easy walk to the local senior center. It was a 3-minute walk to a beautiful, safe park. And it was a 10-minute walk to the grocery store. She didn't buy a house. She bought a lifestyle. She bought access. She designed a life where connection and activity were not just possible, but easy. Let me tell you what her day looks like. At 8 a.m., she wakes up and walks to the senior center. She's there by 8:10. She takes a yoga class with her friends. At 11 a.m., she has lunch with them right there in the center's cafeteria. A hot, nutritious meal that costs her just a few dollars. In the afternoon, she takes a slow walk in the park. She nods and says hello to the other regulars, the other people who walk at the same time every day. In the evening, maybe she takes a calligraphy class at the community center or has tea with two other women in her building who also live alone. She lives by herself, but she is never lonely. She told me this, and it's so powerful. Doctor, I live by myself, but I'm not lonely. Every day I have people to see, and I have a place to go. My apartment is small, but my life has gotten so much bigger. So, what is the lesson here? The lesson from Eleanor, Robert, and Carol is crystal clear. Living alone and being isolated are two completely different things. Eleanor was physically isolated, and fear took hold of her. Robert was emotionally and spiritually isolated. He lost his freedom and sense of purpose. Carol lives alone, but she is perfectly connected. She proved that a solo life does not have to be a lonely one. The French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre famously said, "Hell is other people." And when you're young and busy and stressed, that can feel true. The demands, the expectations. But as I've seen in my practice, in old age, that saying must be completely reversed. The absence of other people, the real hell. No one to see you. No one to remember you. No one to talk to you. The German philosopher Martin Heidegger defined humans as being in the world. It means we don't exist separately from the world. We exist within it, through our relationships. That's what Carol built for herself. Modern psychology proves this, and the numbers are terrifying. A landmark study from Brigham Young University followed 300,000 people and found that social isolation increases your risk of early death by 50%. Let me put that in perspective for you. That is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. It is worse for your health than obesity. It is more dangerous than high blood pressure. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It is a disease that kills you. We can see it on a brain scan. MRIs of socially isolated seniors show that their brains actually shrink. The hippocampus, your memory center, withers. Your stress hormones, cortisol, go up. Your happiness hormones, serotonin, go down. Your immune system tanks, but the brains of active social seniors stay lit up. They keep growing. Your brain can change and improve at 70, 80, or even 90, if it is connected. The conclusion is obvious. The secret, the medicine, is that the place where you live determines how you live. If Carol's story brings you a sense of relief and hope, type "connected" in the comments. Let's find that connection together. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Doctor, this is all very interesting, but I'm not alone. I'm living with my husband. I'm with my wife. I need you to listen to me very, very carefully. This is especially for those of you who are living with a spouse right now. You must prepare. Why? Because, as we discussed, the statistics are cold, hard facts. One of you almost certainly will pass away first, and the one left behind will be alone for an average of 7 to 10 years. Here in the United States, because women have a longer life expectancy, it's most often the wife who is left behind. Nearly one half of all American women over 75 live completely alone. This is not a maybe. This is an unavoidable reality. So you must prepare for it now. And here is the single biggest mindset shift I need you to make. You shouldn't be planning for a house where two people can live together. You should be planning for a house where one person can live well, all by themselves. This is a challenge for our entire society. We are all aging. We can't just rely on our kids, who have their own lives and jobs. The government can't solve it all. Other countries, they're ahead of us. Japan, the Netherlands, and Denmark are building communities designed for connection. not just for storage. So we have to start asking different questions. We have to change the question. Stop asking where I will live alone. Start asking how I can live alone, but stay connected. Stop asking how big my house will be. Start asking how warm will my community be. The answers are already here. That brings me to the 3 specific solutions I promised you. Section 4. Solution number 1. A small apartment near an active senior center, the Carroll model. All right, so now for the practical, life-changing answers. Solution number 1. This is the Carroll model. The best place to live alone in old age is a small apartment. I'm talking about 550 to 850 square feet, which is within a 10-minute easy walk of a good active senior center. Why this specific combination? Let's break it down. First, the size. It's just right. If your house is too big, like the one you're in now, it's a nightmare to clean and manage. The empty room doesn't feel like freedom. They just echo. They make you feel lonelier. But if it's too small, like a tiny 300 square feet studio, it's suffocating. There's no room for your hobbies. No space to even have one friend over for tea. 550 to 850 square feet, a 1-bedroom or a small 2-bedroom, that is the sweet spot. It's a size where you can breathe, have your privacy, but it's manageable enough not to overwhelm you. But the real key, the magic, is the senior center. For a senior living alone, a good senior center is a lifeline, a treasure trove. It has everything you need to keep your life vibrant and meaningful. It has your morning yoga class. It has a lunch program where you get a hot, nutritious meal for just a few dollars. It has the afternoon art class, the computer class, and the book club. But most importantly, it has people. It has the faces you see every single day, the friends you say hello to, the companions you laugh with. Studies have shown that having a strong social network can reduce your risk of early death by 50%. A truly astonishing number. A senior center isn't just a building. It's a mini-society. It gives you a role. It gives you relationships. It gives you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. This is the single most powerful vaccine against the disease of loneliness that I can prescribe. So, here is your action for this one. Go to Google today. Search for Senior Center and your town's name. Call them. Ask what programs they have. Then go visit tomorrow. Just look around, see what it feels like. And then sign up for one class. Just one. That one small action will change everything, I promise you. If the idea of a vibrant senior center sparks hope in you, type community below. Let's build our networks. Section 5, solution number 2. A ground floor or second floor apartment, next to a beautiful, safe park. All right. Solution number 2. This one is all about your mental and physical health. The second best place to live alone is a ground floor or second floor apartment that is right next to a beautiful, safe park. Why this combination? Let's talk about the 2 keys. Key number 1, the park. When you live alone, the single most important thing you can do for your health, more important than any medicine I can prescribe, is to walk every single day. When a park is right outside your door, walking isn't a chore. It's not something you have to drive to, fight for parking. It's a joy. Sitting on that park bench, feeling the warm sun, hearing the birds, just watching people go by, that is what keeps us human, what keeps our minds sharp. Psychologists know this well. Just 30 minutes of walking in nature can reduce the symptoms of depression by 50%. It lowers your blood pressure. It cuts those stress hormones, cortisol. And most of all, while you're walking, you are not isolated. You see other people. You nod. You are connected to the world around you. And key number 2, the low floor. Friends, This is crucial. As we age, our mobility changes. Those knees might not be what they used to be, and stairs can become a real challenge. You need to be on a floor that you can easily walk up to if the elevator is broken or in case of a power outage. A ground floor or second floor unit is perfect, even if your knees aren't what they used to be. It is also very practical and much safer in an emergency, like a fire or a power outage. The philosopher Nietzsche said, "All truly great thoughts are conceived by walking." It's not just exercise. It's thinking. It's feeling. It's confirming you're still alive. It nourishes your soul and your mind. So, here is your action for this one. Build this one small habit. Walk in that park at the same time every single morning, say 8 a.m. every day. You'll start seeing the same faces, the same woman walking her dog, the same older couple strolling hand in hand. After a week, you'll say hello. In a month, your friends, the relationships will happen all by themselves, naturally and meaningfully. Are you ready to take that first step towards a healthier, more connected you? Type walk if you're committing to this daily habit. Section 6. Solution number 3. In the same neighborhood as your children, about a 10-minute walk away. And finally, solution number 3. This one is about family and boundaries. The third best place to live alone is in the same neighborhood as your children, but about a 10-minute walk away. Why this specific distance? I call it the just right distance. It means you are alone, but not completely alone. You are close enough for an emergency, but you are fully independent in your daily life. Why not in the same house with your adult children? Let me tell you about the philosopher Schopenhauer's hedgehog dilemma. On a cold winter's night, a group of hedgehogs tunnel together for warmth. But when they get too close, they prick each other with their sharp spines. So they move apart. But when they move apart, they get cold, and they start to die. After trying and failing, they find the perfect distance, close enough to share warmth, but far enough apart not to hurt each other. Your relationship with your adult children is the same. Too close, living in the same house, and you hurt each other. You're walking on eggshells. They lose their freedom, and you lose yours. Too far, living in another state, and you're cut off. You freeze. You're isolated. They can't get to you in an emergency. You can't share daily life, those small joys of family affection. 10 minutes. That's the perfect distance. A distance you can walk to visit, but don't have to every day. A distance where they can be at your door in a crisis, but can't barge in on your daily life. It's the perfect balance between independence and a solid safety net. It's respect, not clinging. It allows both you and your children to live your own lives, yet be there for each other when it truly counts. So here is your action for this one. Have an honest conversation with your children. Sit them down and say, "Let's not plan to live together. Let's plan to live near." Tell them you want to live your own life, but be close enough to help each other and share precious moments. That one conversation, friends, that one honest conversation could save all of you from future misunderstandings and regrets. If this just right distance idea is a light bulb moment for you, type boundaries in the comments. Let's cherish our independence and connection. It's key to a fulfilling older age. It could be as simple as, "I'm going to look for a senior center in my town," or "I'm going to walk in the park at the same time every morning," or "I'm going to have a frank conversation with my kids about living close together." Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to take this important first step. And if you found real value and a little peace in our time together, please show your support by giving this video a like. It lets us know we're on the right track and ensures you continue this journey with us so you don't miss any more videos filled with life-changing wisdom. Hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community, a family dedicated to living our best lives together. And finally, think of someone, just one person in your life, who needs to hear this message today. Please share it with them. You might just change their life.